Welcome to Exposed. I'm Lifeologist April Rose. Thanks for joining me here for Winning Wednesday. It's Hump Day and we made it. I don't know where you are in the world, but it is snowing heavily here in North Carolina. So this is a perfect time to talk to you guys. I can't go outside. Today we're going to talk about winning with a purpose. And I'm going to give you the 3-step process to discovering your purpose. But before I do that, I'm going to help you to avoid the 5 most common distractions to walking in your purpose. Because it doesn't help us to know what our purpose is if we can easily be distracted from walking in it, right? So listen, I have adult ADD. I am very easily distracted, especially if I pause for too long. Let me be doing a task and see a lily. It's over. Lilies are my favorite flowers, by the way, but that just gives you an idea of how easy it is for me to get distracted. Is that lint on my wrap? Okay, I'm back. But wait. Hey, Antonio. Antonio Banderas is so gorgeous. I have a picture of him over there on my wall. Why did I put that up there? Now I'm thinking about all of his movies and why I love him so much. Antonio, get out of my head. You have absolutely nothing to do with my video. But you see how that worked completely against us? We have some things to do, so let me focus. Let's start with our first most common distraction. Things we like. I'm all about smelling the roses and enjoying life, but there is a time and a place for everything. If I'm supposed to be uploading a video, but I choose to go to a party instead, there's going to be some consequences later. If I have a deadline, let's say of 3 o'clock, and I'm nowhere near finished, and out of nowhere my BFF calls me at noon and invites me to lunch at my favorite restaurant. Should I go? Of course not. But I can't tell you how many times I have gone, but I can tell you how awesome I felt when I've declined and actually met my 3 o'clock deadline. So how do we avoid being swept into a disaster by things we enjoy? Every time you don't do what you are supposed to do when you are supposed to be doing it, you are literally robbing yourself. Let me give you an example. Let's pretend that I'm an entrepreneur. I have strategically scheduled myself off every Saturday and Sunday. Now, those of you who are entrepreneurs know that if I've scheduled 2 days off, that I have been grinding the other 5 days of the week. I have to be. So on Thursday, I decide I'd rather go to see a movie instead of doing some reports that are going to take about 4 hours. I tell myself I'm going to get it done tomorrow. So Friday rolls around and I haven't caught up on my reports, because my Friday schedule was already full. So I'm working on that. In the middle of the day, my BFF calls me and offers to take me out to see that new movie that we were both raving about the other day. So I take her up on her offer. After the movie, she says, hey, we should go grab a drink. Grabbing a drink sounds so much better than doing reports. I really hate tedious tasks anyway, so we head to the sports bar. Now let's fast forward to Saturday afternoon, and I'm just waking up because I partied a little bit harder and longer than I planned to last night. I think about how much fun me and my BFF had last night, and I remember a funny scene from the bar, and I'm cracking up again just like it's last night again. Then it hits me. Not only are my reports not done, but another task I was supposed to take care of yesterday is not done either. So now I have to try to get both of these things done today on my off day. So I'm dive in and I'm able to get the reports done before I fall into bed exhausted. So now it's Sunday after church. And the elephant in the room is that I still haven't done my task that was scheduled for Friday. So I spend the rest of my Sunday getting that done. I just robbed myself of both of my days off. I want my money back. Listen, getting robbed is never fun. I literally just violated myself in that scenario. And now Monday, I'm right back to work, stretching out my work week for 12 days in a row because I technically have not had any days off. There's an easy fix for this. Number one, if you want to accomplish your goals, it is imperative that you have a weekly schedule. I made me a schedule in an Excel spreadsheet. Very simply, your schedule should have time slots set aside for everything, including fun and events. Of course, your fun and events will not always happen at the same time, but having the time slots set aside makes it easier for you to interchange fun slots with work slots. For instance, say your fun times are scheduled for Friday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., but you want to catch an early movie, let's say from 4 to 7. And that's including your drive time. You just need to commit to doing the tasks that were scheduled from 4 to 7 after the movie from 7 to 10 in place of your fun slots. So you can interchange that. But I created the spreadsheet with my daily schedule on it that is set in 15-minute increments. I did this because of my favorite dude, Steve Harvey. He said this is how he gets so much done. Steve has like all the jobs in the world. He's a Jamaican man. But he says he is only able to do what he does because on his schedule he knows what he's supposed to be doing and where he is supposed to be every minute of every day. Now, I thought carving out my day minute by minute was a little too extreme, but having it split up into 15-minute increments is perfect for me. And I even have my schedule color-coded with bright, vibrant colors because that inspires me to want to do the things I see on the spreadsheet. It allows me to see exactly where I'm spending my time, and it also allows me to see just how much extra time I was wasting prior to having this schedule. And it helps me to make sure I'm getting to do not just everything I need to do, but also what I want to do. And so now I have a daily ritual that I do when I wake up, and it's all because of this schedule. I take a full hour and a half in the morning to do the things that I know that are going to fuel my day into a positive one. And I have each thing scheduled in at least one 15-minute increment because some things may be 30 minutes or 45 minutes, so you'll need 2 increments or 3 increments, however that works out for you. But I have all my meals on my schedule, my meditation, time for my shower, getting dressed, doing my makeup, doing my hair. I even have slots for errands and personal appointments, so I only schedule appointments on certain days. I have time scheduled for watching TV, cleaning, even reading my Bible. And the wonderful thing about this is once I saw my day on paper, I realized how much time I was wasting before I had this schedule. And that I had empty time slots with nothing to put in them. So I made up this task and I called it WNTBD. That stands for what needs to be done. WNTBD. So when those times come, if there's something I'm behind on, I use that time to get caught up. And if there's nothing I'm behind on, I use those slots to get ahead or do something fun and unexpected. And if you'd like a copy of that spreadsheet so you can do your own easily, just post spreadsheet in the comments with your email and I'll send it to you. So that's number one. The number one distraction is things we like, and we counter it by having a set schedule in writing. Okay? Number two, being paralyzed by a partial map. This is so personal for me. I'm the first to tell you that I'm a little extreme with wanting details and being prepared before I do just about anything. But sometimes it's just not possible. Sometimes we have to move with details missing. Just to show you what I mean, every time I put an address in my GPS, I'm a little obsessive about this. I make it my business to click menu. Then I click details so that I can see the entire route from beginning to end. And depending on how far I'm driving, I may just have MapQuest directions printed out. But one particular day, this was recently, I had a very important meeting, and I was already out and about before it was time to head toward the meeting. I was running out of time, and I knew I couldn't be late. Why is it that whenever you're running behind, the craziest things happen to slow you down even more? Things that never happen any other time. Anywho, I dug through my purse like 25 times looking for my phone. I finally found it. I went to unlock it, and of course, it was not unlocking with the thumbprint. Instead, it was frozen, and it took about 60 seconds for me to get to the screen where I could enter my PIN. I'm finally in. I open the Maps app. I enter my destination address. Why isn't this app making an auto suggestion? I really gotta type this whole address in. Ugh. Anyway, I got the address in. I tap on it, and the directions button, the little button, it pops up immediately. I'm like, now we're getting somewhere, right? I tap directions, and now I see the go button. By the way, Apple, if I tap on directions, that probably means I want to go there, so I'm not quite understanding the need for the two buttons in order to begin my route. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so the route is on the screen, so I tap menu. Then I tap details so that I can see each step on my route, right? It's a blank white screen, you guys. I exit out and I try it 2 more times, and I'm getting the same result every time. I can't be late. I've already wasted time. So do I sit here and keep trying to get this thing to work the way it was supposed to in order to satisfy my overly cautious personality? Or do I put my foot to the gas and move in faith that this GPS is going to work until I arrive at my destination? So in this instance, I couldn't allow not having the details to paralyze me in that moment. I had to move. And so many of us don't move because there's one little detail missing. In the past, I've been the queen of procrastinators because of this. The queen. The thing that held me up the most is this question right here. I know what I want to do, but is that what God wants me to do? That's a very valid question. It really is, because I want to be where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But what I've learned is that, like the GPS, God is waiting for me to start moving before he begins to give me the turn-by-turn directions. Also, if I just happen to make a wrong turn, he will also be, just like the GPS, rerouting, right? So get to moving. And as long as you have asked and believe, you will receive direction. Be like Nike and just do it. So that is number 2. Don't be paralyzed by the missing puzzles. I promise you, they will come. Okay? Number 3, sneak attacks. Don't allow sneak attacks to stop you in your tracks. Sneak attacks can stop you in your tracks. Don't allow it. Anytime you make a decision to do something that is going to help somebody, especially on a large scale, and you're doing something good, the enemy is going to rear his ugly head. I promise you, he's going to come for you harder. He knows that good neutralizes evil, and he is the epitome of evil. So it's only natural that he rears his ugly head when he sees anybody trying to do some good in this world. If he didn't feel threatened by you, he wouldn't attack you. So if nothing has gone wrong for you in a long time, you ain't doing nothing. Oops, did I say that? Sorry. Not sorry. For real though. If you are literally never under attack, you ain't doing nothing. So always be prepared to improvise, and please do not be like I was for years and use the sneak attacks for excuses. All of a sudden I got a cough, so I'm not going to be able to finish my reports. Girl, if you don't get your... I'm talking to myself. But don't be the perpetual victim. You might even have been wronged by somebody. Don't use that as an excuse. You've already got the victory. Let your bad experiences fuel you. When you do, you'll be able to help somebody else who is going through it. But a victim can't help anybody. And once you made it out and beyond it, you can be proud of yourself for not giving up in the midst of the storm. Such great news. So, remember that we all choose what we do all day, every day. You choose to get out of bed in the morning. You choose to go to work. You choose to eat breakfast. You choose to go to bed at a certain time, etc. Choose to be laser focused when attacks come your way. It might take you 6 hours to finish shooting a video that you had only carved out 2 hours for. Story of my life. But I'm still going to finish my shoot and post that video. The challenge is in the balance. Sneak attacks, schmeek attacks. You're better than that. All right. That was number 3. Number 4, handling irrelevant ideas. This is another huge one for me. I've always been very analytical. And analytical people, we live in our heads. Telling me not to overthink it is like telling snow not to be white. My mind is always going, so much so sometimes that I have to verbally tell it to shut up. But because of this wonderful gift, my thoughts often distract me when I'm trying to focus on a task. Fresh new ideas that have absolutely nothing to do with what I'm working on are always popping up at what seems like the most inopportune time. There's an easy fix for this as well, and very easy fix for handling those wonderful ideas. Write them down immediately. I went to the dollar store because your girl is balling on a budget, and I bought all these little books, right? I got one right here. Let me just show you what they look like. I got several of them, but this particular one, hope you can see that. Okay, I'm really bad at this thing, okay? So these little books, and you can just note things in here. And each one that I bought has its own specific purpose. So when I get these awesome thoughts and ideas that I feel needs to pull me away from what I need to be focusing on, I take a few seconds, I jot down the idea, and I get right back to work. And if the idea is so awesome, I can go back to it later and develop it during my WNTB time slot, what needs to be done. So, the tip here, save all of your extraordinary ideas, extraordinary yet irrelevant ideas for later. All right, that was number 4. Number 5, limit the nemesis. We all have things that we absolutely love to do. What's your thing? Most of us don't have to guess what's taking up most of our time when we are procrastinating. Some people play video games like 6 hours a day. Some people are scrolling through their social media timeline for 8 hours a day. Some people are sleeping 12 hours a day. Some people are spending too much time playing Candy Crush, Bubbles, Break the Brick to Oblivion games, and sending me requests for lives. Stop it, please. But for me, I was watching way too much TV before I got woke. Yeah, I'm woke out here in these streets. But anyway, I knew I was watching way too much TV. But I wasn't willing to admit it because I knew once I admitted it, I would have to do something about it. And you all know my motto, you can't keep it real until you get real. Once you get real, you can get healed. I love watching TV. I do. But I had to get real about the situation. And once I got real, I was able to get healed. And now I can keep it real with you guys. So I haven't stopped watching TV. I just made my TV watching intentional. And it's on my schedule. So whatever it is that's hindering you or may hinder you from walking in your purpose probably just needs a little bit of tweaking. Okay? Your tweaking process may be a little bit different from mine, but tailor it for you. And remember, as you are tweaking the time you dedicate to your thing, you need to be realistic, rewarding, and respectable. 3 R's. Realistic, rewarding, and respectable. All right, so I'm going to break that down for you. Realistic. You want to decrease the time you're spending on your thing, but you don't want to decrease it so much that you end up falling off the wagon and going into a binge. That's just going to put you further behind than you were before. So for me, instead of watching TV 6 to 10 hours per day like I was doing before, tragic, I now allow myself 1 hour of TV per day. That's Monday through Saturday. But since I DVR all my shows anyway, and I have Sunday off, I can watch all of my shows on Sunday without feeling guilty. And I also sneak in shows that I know I don't need to actually look at, and I can just listen to while I'm doing other tasks like combing my hair, which I didn't do today. But doing my makeup, getting dressed. I'm like an obsessive multitasker. And when I sneak that time in, it doesn't count against my hours. So it's just a little extra added bonus for me. All right, so that is the first one. Now, rewarding. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? But rewards are earned, though. They are not automatic. So hold yourself accountable. If I have been watching hours upon hours of TV all week, then I didn't earn the reward of watching TV all day Sunday. So if I did that, I would have robbed myself again of my day off and my reward. And let me just tell you, your thing is so much more delightful and so much more rewarding when you've actually earned it, okay? Lastly, respectable. Our thing is usually a huge part of who we are. Strangely enough, it'll probably assist us in some parts of our purpose. For instance, when I did my motivational video yesterday, I was able to talk about something I saw on TV during my 1 hour of watching the day before. So basically, I say respectable because I don't want you to change who you are. And I also advise that you truly take in experiences from your thing and incorporate them into your purpose in some positive way. That way, you are respecting and honoring who you are and what you like. So do your thing, shorty, but in moderation, okay? All right. So now I'm going to actually give you the process. Well, now that we're done with learning how to counter our most common distractions, I'm going to give you the process to determining your purpose. Give me just a minute because I need to pull it up, guys. So bear with me while I do that, okay? All right, so I wrote an article about this in my magazine, Inspirations Magazine, which is on hiatus right now, but we'll be doing a new launch very soon. So just keep your eyes open for that, okay? But let's imagine some things, okay? Imagine that you have 0 responsibilities. Nobody is expecting anything of you, okay? Your parents, if they're still here, God bless you if they're not. They only want you to do what you want to do. Your spouse or significant other is on board with your choices. Your children, if you have children, are not in need of anything. Your friends are in the stands literally cheering you on for whatever your heart's desires are. They're like, go, 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 go. You have an unlimited supply of money and you have no bills. Your health is great and you're at your greatest strength. In this world, what is your contribution to the world? Under these circumstances, what is your contribution? And let me just say, sometimes when I pose these questions to people, they immediately get it. They have the answers. There are other times when people have to let it marinate. They don't get it right away. They need to go home and kind of take a breath, unplug from everything and actually think. And then there are other times when people just aren't ready to get it. And the reason for that is your purpose is not ready to be revealed to you. But having this process when it is ready to be revealed will work in your favor. You can dig into your repertoire, pull it out, right? So in this perfect world, if you don't have your answer, I'm going to just give you mine just to kind of help you out. So mine was inspiration. That is what I would contribute to the world, because we're all responsible for contributing something to the world, correct? So mine is inspiration, okay? If you got your answer, your purpose should be becoming clearer for you. If you didn't, again, don't worry. It may come to you later, and it just may not be time for you, okay? So now, we're going to add one more thing to the equation. At this point, in this perfect world, you feel like you are simply existing, not living, without doing this one very specific thing. What is this one thing that is your gift? That one thing that you are simply existing and not living without, that is your gift. And for me, that was writing. For you, it might be singing. It might be doing hair. It might be interior decorating. It could be wrestling. It could be a number of things. But you'll know what that is usually, even if you're not ready for your purpose. Okay? All right, so we've got one final consideration, okay? What are you at your core? Okay? And when I say at your core, I mean, are you a teacher? Are you a motivator? Are you a leader? Are you an activist? Are you a performer? Etc. Who are you at your core? At my core, I am a motivator. And once you determine what you are at your core, you want to combine that with your gift. And the sum is your purpose. And because my gift is writing, and because I'm a motivator at my core, I marry the two, which means my purpose is motivational writing. Okay? And let's not forget that your gift is not always going to be one specific thing. Even though I'm a motivational writer, doesn't mean I can only write books, or I can only write magazines, or at some point I might not write in a newspaper column, So it will evolve with you, right? I just want you to know there's always going to be a part of your purpose that makes you uncomfortable. Otherwise, you'll become too puffed up, right? And being uncomfortable keeps you grounded and humble. It also keeps you mindful that there's a higher power greater than you who provides the power for you to do what you do. So once you've figured out what your purpose is, get moving and listen. Listen to the turn-by-turn directions from that higher power. All right? All right, guys, I want you to subscribe, comment, like, and share. Make sure you follow me on Facebook at April the Rose, that's THEE, and on Instagram at April the Rose, that's THE. And you don't want to miss out on my Monday Motivation, my Winning Wednesday, and soon to come my Friday Night Live, where I'll be answering your questions. So if you have any live questions that you need advice on, just email me, and you can do that at April the Rose, THE, at gmail.com. I'm sorry, THEE at gmail.com. And also, they tell me you got to plug your stuff. So before I became so woke and started talking to you guys, I wrote this book, and it's called Karma Burns. It's a mystery fiction. It's a really good book. I don't know if you guys can see that. And it's under my pseudonym, there we go, Alexis Brown, as you can see. And people are begging for the sequel of this book, which I am currently working on. But I refuse to release it until I have about 1,000 reviews on Amazon. So if you get the book, I do ask that you go ahead and review it, good, bad, or indifferent. And if you would like to get an autographed copy, you can order that directly from me for $15. I will sign it and put a little note in it and send it to you. And it works in your benefit because you won't have to wait for Amazon to process your order and ship it, okay? All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to Exposed. I am April Rose, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.